Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Thank you guys so much for being here. Welcome, welcome, everyone. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. My name is Giselle Wilson. I am the BBA career coach for the College of Business, and I'm also the internship coordinator as well. So basically, I handle all undergrad students in internships for the College of Business. And today we have a very exciting presentation today. Just gonna go over how to navigate yourself in an in-person career fair. It's been a couple of years since we've had one. We're really excited to have it again and starting our in-person career fairs back. So this is definitely going to be a refresher to some students and a learning experience for other students. But throughout the presentation, if you have any questions, make sure you put them in the Q&A box. We'll be answering all the questions at the end just to make sure we can get through everything of the presentation. And we're gonna go ahead and get started. Okay, I already introduced myself. So we're going to be talking about today a couple of takeaways is pre-registering for the career fair, understanding what employers and recruiters are looking for, researching prospective employers, making sure that you have multiple copies of your resume, kind of talking about what resume format is best for you, the option of bringing a portfolio, having your elevator pitch, some interview questions, and a little more resources that we have available. As well, this session is being recorded, so if you're popping on a few minutes after, it's okay. Everything will be on your Gator Hired account as a recording. You can go through and rewatch it anytime. So first, we want to make sure we go through and pre-register for the career fair. No matter if you're attending in person or the virtual career fair, you definitely want to pre-register. Now, you don't have to register to attend. However, it's very important because employers are able to see your resume beforehand for your career fair if you go through and pre-register. So I'm going to take you through how to pre-register. So I've switched over to the sample student account that I have for Gator Hired. So you'll go through, log on to your Gator Hired account. And this homepage you will see, and you'll see all of the upcoming events right here. And from there, we can click on see all of events so we can see all of the career fairs that are coming up. So from there, we see our 3 career fairs. The first one is virtual. The second 2 are in person. So we're going to click on the career fair for February 24th, just as an example. So we see this button attend, and that's what we want to click on. So with you just clicking attend, all 17 employers that are attending this accounting and finance career fair will be able to access your resume before the career fair. Also, just going through, you can look at all of the employers that are registered to attend. Now, this list will be updated and more employers might register before the actual event date. So this list might change, but you can go through and see all of the employers here. You can click at the top where it says jobs, and you can also see what jobs, internships the recruiter is recruiting for. So whenever you have time, definitely highly recommend going through and looking through the employers that are attending and the jobs that are going to be offered. Okay, let's switch back to our presentation. Okay, so understanding what recruiters or employers are looking for. So really, when you're at a career fair, they want to see your resume. That's going to be the most important thing that you will have. So you want to make sure that you have plenty of copies of your resume, but they're looking for a really good resume, and on that resume having some track records, either that being course-related projects. Everything doesn't have to be work-related experience, but course-related projects. Your competencies will show on your resume, your professionalism that you bring when you're speaking to the employer by researching their company and what they do in the industry and some of their positions. All of that is what employers are looking for when they come to career fairs, recruiting for interns and full-time positions. So definitely you're going to hear me repeat a lot of the same things because it's just that important, but you really want to make sure that you research your prospective employer. So you want to look over the company overview, the products, services that they offer, different career paths, employee trainings. Maybe that will be something that's interesting to you or that's important to you. What professional development does the company offer? But the thing that sets candidates apart is the ones who have done their research and have an awesome resume. So you want to make sure that you at least have those two things, because the number one thing you do not want to do is go up to an employer, a prospective employer, and say, hey, what do you do? That shows the employer that you have not done any research and that you might not be serious for the position. And, you know, that might be untrue. Maybe you're really interested in the position. Well, it didn't show because you didn't do that research. So again, you want to have multiple copies of your resume. I say, as a rule of thumb, each employer that you want to talk to, you need to have 2 resumes for that employer. So if you want to talk to 5 employers, you need to have 10 resumes. That way, if you run out of resumes, you don't have to go through, find somewhere to reprint them, go through that hassle. Just you want to come prepared, because once you are in the flow of things, maybe you have to stand in line for different employers. You really don't want to get distracted or lose your groove if you have to go out and get more resumes or things like that. And it doesn't really matter if your resume is on resume paper or regular paper. You just want to make sure that it is on, white paper. You don't want it on any colors or anything like that. If you want it to have on your resume on nice resume paper, that's fine. But if you print it out in a regular printer with regular paper, that's fine as well. So there are a few formats that you can consider. And definitely you can make a career coaching appointment with me or anybody on our team, really, if you have any questions on which resume format is best for you. But we have 3 typical formats. We have the chronological, which is probably the one that everyone uses. If you use VMOC, which is required for you to go through and use if you want to apply for any jobs on Gator Hired, you've used the chronicle version of your resume. But sometimes that doesn't work for everyone, and that's fine. A lot of professionals that have more experience tend to lean towards using a functional resume. And basically, a functional resume is focusing on the skills that you've received in your job experience rather than where you worked and when. So this is really good for professionals that have over 10, 15 years of experience, and you don't want to lose a lot of that older skill sets that you have. So a lot of professionals use functional. And then combination resume is a combination between chronological and functional. But really, if you are a undergraduate student, this is your first internship or seeking a first real career in your field, then a chronological resume will be the best resume for you. And again, you can always make an appointment with one of the career coaches, and we can help you with your resume. Also, while we're on resumes, you want to make sure that you do have an approved resume on VMOC. So VMOC is that resume reviewing tool that we have, and you have to have an 85 or higher for it to be considered approved. But you have to have an approved resume in order to pass out your resume during the career fair. So let's say you don't have that 85 at the career fair, you're still able to attend. Most employers, like you saw online that I showed you, have their jobs posted through Gator Hired. So you can always go through and apply later. But we definitely highly recommend you have your resume approved on VMOC so you can hand out those resumes to the employer. So you want to consider bringing a portfolio. This is really good if you are a marketing student, or if you have a lot of projects, or you've done a lot of projects in your undergrad or graduate experience. So with your portfolio, it is a folder usually, or a small binder, but you'll have an introduction piece on there, a professional summary, some of your highlights that you have had in your career or in your undergrad, and some samples of your work. So that's why we say it's kind of better for marketing majors, because maybe you have samples of different campaigns and things that you've done, that something that you can show, or some of my graduate students who have done a lot of research papers or research projects, you can go through and show that information. And then the last thing you'll have is a closing page for that. And again, if you want help developing this or creating this, you can definitely make an appointment with one of the career coaches, and we can help you develop your portfolio as well. So we need to make sure you have your elevator pitch ready. So your elevator pitch is a 30 to 90 second blurb about your professional self. Notice that I said professional. You want to mention everything that you have done or you're experiencing in your higher ed career, or if you have previous work experience, you want to mention that. You really don't want to mention that, you have 3 cats and 2 dogs, you like to go shopping on the weekends. Even though that's great, that's not really pertaining to your career and the goals that you have. So you want to keep it brief. You want to mention your skills that you have. So if you are an accounting major and you have had projects in QuickBooks, SAP, Excel, those are the skills, those are the hard skills that you want to share. Mentioning your goals, that you want to obtain an internship where you can really develop your skills further in QuickBooks and work with the industry, maybe a nonprofit industry that helps families with their taxes, just as an example. And on here, you'll see it says have a business card ready. You don't have to have one, but it's good to have one, and it's fairly easy to make and print out. You can go through Office Depot to print out one, FedEx to print out those cards. They're really easy to create. You can create it on Canva. So those are really easy to print out. But if you don't have time to do that, that's fine. As long as you have your resume, that will have all of the important information on there. So when you are in the career fair, you definitely want to make sure that you have a list of questions prepared for the recruiters and the hiring managers that you are going to talk to. So these are just samples. Definitely take from this if you want to, but when you are reading the job description and the company's history and mission, you are going to develop some more questions that you can ask. But really good questions just to kind of start off is, why is this position open? This is more geared towards maybe a full-time position. You really don't have to ask this question if it's an internship, because a lot of internships, they are yearly basis and they have different programs, and it's always open. Another good question is, what does the day-to-day of this job look like? This will give you a really good insight on what duties that you would possibly be doing, tools that you'll be working with, workload. So it'll really give you a good insight on the background of that job position. And then another good question is, what in my background suggests that I would be a good fit? Because you can tailor this into why they should consider bringing you on for an interview. Because if they state some good skills or skills that you have, then you can wrap that or turn that into, well, I have these skills that you're looking for, and this is what makes me the best fit for this position. So what not to do during a career fair? Definitely you want to make sure that you're not chewing gum. Just don't have gum in your mouth at all. Being aware of your body language, fidgeting, playing with your hair, acting bored, yawning, things like that. All of your nonverbal communication will come off as disinterested or not really caring about what the employer is talking about. So the real big one for me is making sure that you do not have gum in your mouth, because it's really unprofessional for students just to be talking to employers with gum in their mouth. So we have a couple of resources for you guys as well. We have two professional dress organization, Dress for Success and Career Gear. So Dress for Success is for the women and Career Gear is for the men. But these organizations provide you with a free suit, no strings attached. You don't have to do anything. The only thing you have to do is set up an appointment with one of the career coaches. We take some of your personal information, get you signed up, and then you go to their office, which is located about 10-15 minutes from the downtown campus. But you'll go to their office. They're going to suit you, measure you, get you a really nice suit that fits your body type. And then you can use that suit for the career fairs, for interviews, anything that you're doing professionally. So if you need a good suit, definitely make an appointment with one of the career coaches. And we'll put our website on the chat with our phone number, but definitely make an appointment with one of the career coaches to use this free resource that you have. So you have went through, talked to all of the employers, you feel really good. You want to make sure that you follow up with the employer. So with any interaction you have, whether it be you contact them or make contact with the career fair, or you have an interview, it's always best to have some sort of follow-up. After the career fair, you can send a thank you email for speaking with you, that you're really interested in so-and-so position, and that you've gone through and submitted your application through Gator Hired. And, please let me know if there's anything else I can do. So with that being said, you want to make sure during the career fair that you either get the employer's business card or contact information, so that way you can follow up with them. Usually a lot of employers, most all of them, will have their business card at the career fair. So it's really easy to get, and all you have to do is just ask them, may I have your business card so I can follow up with you for future references or future reference. Okay, so have some upcoming events. Again, the virtual career fair for Career Fair Week starts off next week on Wednesday on the 23rd, and that is for the all business majors. The accounting career fair is on the 24th, and that's in person, and then the all business majors in-person career fair will be that Friday on the 25th. We also have a Houston Tech Rodeo Career Fair that's going to be taking place in person in One Main, A300 from 1 to 4. And then we have our other professional development events throughout March and April. So all of our events are online for you to register via your Gator Hired account. We do have an app as well. So if you go online or through the App Store, you can just search Simplicity Jobs and Careers, and you can log on, RSVP to any event through your Gator Hired app or through the desktop version. So I know I went over a lot of information at once, but I want to make sure that I had some time for some questions. So do we have any questions, Bliss? And if you have any questions, please put them in the Q&A. We'll give you a couple of moments to type those questions. Make sure you put them in the Q&A box for me. Okay, so our first question we have, are masks required for career fair? No, they are not required. You do not have to wear a mask if you choose not to. It's totally up to you. So for the university, their mask or our mask require, or we don't have a mask requirement. It's just suggested if you want to. Okay, keep those questions coming.
So the next question is, what info should be on our business card? So I would say, of course, your name, your email, your phone number, even your major, or if you're a graduate student, just talk about, make sure that's included. What else, Giselle?
Definitely having your LinkedIn link on there. If you want to be fancy, you can have your LinkedIn link as a QR code so it can be scanned. But definitely having your LinkedIn link. If you have a portfolio or online portfolio, maybe you're a marketing major, having that on your business card as well.
The next question, do you have an outline of what to say for the elevator pitch?
Yes, we do. So I can go through and give you, I can put it in the chat, what to put in an elevator pitch or what to say in an elevator pitch. So just give me one moment and I'll have that for you. And it's also on your Gator Hired account. This PDF that I'm going to be sharing, it's on your Gator Hired account under resources. So you can access it there as well.
Okay, so the next question, will the employers attending be more in search of interns or full-time employees? So the question is, they'll be looking for interns, probably part-time and full-time for each career fair.
So yes, I agree, but it's going to be a variety. Employers will be looking for part-time, full-time for internship, as well as full-time for full-time positions. So it really depends on the employer and what they're looking for, but I highly recommend you going online to your Gator Hired account and looking at the different employers who are attending and their job descriptions and their positions posted, because that will tell you exactly what they're going to be looking for.
Next question. Can I look up on Gator Hired regarding what kind of internship or full-time positions are available? So that was a 2-for-1. So yes, you can. You'll go to your Gator Hired account, and some companies have listed the application, so you can apply before the career fair, which is very convenient, and also upload your resume. You can come see Giselle to critique your resume and help you better it as well before you upload it. And you can have more than one resume. You can critique it and individualize it for each and every company instead of sending the same resume to different companies. Any more questions, anyone?
And I haven't forgot about that elevator pitch. I'm putting it into the chat right now.
For sure, for the elevator pitch, like Giselle stated earlier, just make sure it's 30 to 90 seconds. Make sure it's professional. It's not about what you do personally, but what you can bring to the company and your experience. Why would you be an asset? Why would they want you to work for them? So Giselle just sent the link to you guys in the chat section for the elevator pitch. Next question. What if you apply for an internship or position and you don't hear back? So the best thing on the PowerPoint is that within 24 hours, it's always good to, send a follow-up. But if it's within, 2-3 days, it's gonna be, less formal. So just try to send it to them within 24 hours. You want to elaborate, Giselle, please?
Yes. So if it was for a position that you haven't contacted or haven't had any contact with the employer, it's standard to wait 2 weeks before you reach out, just to give them time to look over the applications. And because things happen, maybe they have some other things that they need to get done and they had to push back looking through the applications. So if you haven't had any contact with the employer and you're just applying for internships, then yes, you would wait 2 weeks. But if you have had contact and they told you to go through, maybe at the career fair, go through and submit it, it's okay for you to reach out and just say, hello, I've submitted my application, just making sure that it's been received, then there's nothing else I need to do.
Okay, so the next question, are we able to meet with a career coach one-on-one just to verify if you're prepared before the fair? Yes, you can, but of course, we would like you to work on your resume and prepare before coming in, especially if you are on B-Monk, your resume should be scored at an 85 or above before coming to a career coach.
Yes, and I'm putting for all appointments, you can go to your Gator Hired account, and I put that link in the chat. You can go through and request an appointment to meet with one of their career coaches. I highly advise you to do it sooner than later, because I promise you next week, I will not have any availability. Now, we do have walk-ins every day during different times, walk-ins and chat hours every day during different times of the day. So you can go on our website, that same link, it will show you the different times that we have walk-ins as well. Okay, any more questions?
I noticed there was an event with Enbridge. Could you give me more details about that?
Is that posted on Gator Hired? So right now we're really focusing on the career fair. For that, if it's posted on Gator Hired through the event, usually we do have networking events with different companies. I think that is for,
April 21st.
is that Meet the Industry?
Yes, Meet the Industry.
Yeah, so all the information would be on your Gator Hired account once it becomes available. So we're still finalizing some details with that. But once it gets a little bit closer, you'll be receiving communication and different emails for Meet the Industry. Okay. So we're right at 12:30. If nobody else has any questions, give it just a few more seconds. But again, this session has been recorded and is being recorded. So if you missed any part, you can always go on your Gator Hired account tomorrow is when it will be posted. So you can view that. We do have another session coming up today at 5 p.m. as well. So if you wanted to go through and attend again or attend the whole thing, if you were unable to pop in during the first part, you can definitely attend the session that we'll have today at 5. Thank you guys so much for attending. I hope to see you all in person during our career fair. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. You can always go to your Gator Hired account, schedule an appointment with me or with one of our career coaches, and we will see you at the career fair. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.